We got the idea the other day to do a Van Halen tribute guitar. So we've been looking around, basically for just a Strat with a maple neck, just something with the original configuration so we could build us a Van Halen tribute guitar. And I picked up this yesterday, this Starcaster by Fender. These things are cheap as all get out, and this is a good guitar. I'm sure the electronics maybe aren't as good. I mean, as a Squire, or obviously as a regular Stratocaster, but this thing plays good. It plays good, and it's really it really sounds good too. It sounds pretty good. This one's got some issues like that right there, and this right here. But this is all coming out anyway. We're gonna make this into a Van Halen tribute. So in some ways I feel a little bit guilty about tearing apart a perfectly good guitar, but I'm gonna have all these parts, these extra parts. I mean, these pickups sound good. What do you think, Leroy?
Yeah.
Think we should go ahead and use this one?
Yeah.
We've got a couple of bodies that we've sort of thought about there, like that one there. I think it's an old Ibanez, but it's just not the same shape exactly, So we're gonna make this one into our Van Halen tribute. Frankenstein. This thing really, it's in pretty good shape. I mean, it's hardly any, maybe a few scratches, but it's got a really nice neck on it. I like how the tuners are in line with the strings, pretty much. Of course, we're going to put a Floyd Rose in this, hopefully, at some point. But anyway, it's kind of dirty, but this is really, if you're wanting to get a starter guitar, or I mean, even I mean, this thing sounds good. There's nothing wrong with this whatsoever. I like it, but it's going to be turned into a Frankenstein. So anyway, I thought I'd just get a good video of it before we start tearing into it. We're just going to strip it all down and paint it. Eddie's original body was just a unfinished body that he painted black. So we're one step ahead here. We got the original black already. So then you put a coat of white, and then the stripes, and then the stripes with masking tape, or gaffer's tape is what I think he actually used, and then you paint some black stripes on there, and then of course, first of all, you have to route this out to put your humbucking pickup in there. But anyway, we're gonna, there's some guys online that have made just incredibly detailed examples. We're not going to be that detailed. This is going to be a kind of like a general tribute guitar. No, it's not going to be exact. It's going to be similar. Don't you think, Leroy?
Yeah.
But this thing, I really almost feel kind of bad about tearing into it, because look at it's almost like perfect. I'm definitely going to be looking for another one of these. These are pretty good guitars. So anyway, it's a Fender Starcaster. I have no idea these are made in where these are made, or if it's made in Korea or something, probably, or China. But it's got a good neck. It really is. Yeah, what do you think, Leroy?
Yeah.
So anyway, just thought we'd take a video of it before we start tearing into it. Okay, we've got this apart. It's in pieces now. One thing I was surprised about was the fact that it's already routed out for a humbucker pickup here, so that'll save me a little bit of time there. But anyway, actually pretty nice. It's I think it's just, I think it might just be pine. I think it might be pine wood. It looks like pine. Maybe, I don't know. I think a strat normally is alder. I don't know, that might be. Definitely not, it's not just plywood. It's definitely a solid wood. You know, it's multiple pieces, because you can see a seam. I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a seam. So it's two pieces. And it's really light wood. Light in color and light weight wise. So I don't know. I'm not sure. It might be just pine. But anyway, I'm not too worried about it. Okay, here's how it ended up. I really forgot. It's been so long. I forgot where I left off on the previous video, but this is how I ended up. You know, here's Eddie's actual. This is the actual Frankenstein. So you know, it looks similar. I wasn't trying to replicate it exactly. There's some guys on the internet that actually take high resolution photos and then project the photo onto graph paper to get the lines all in the right position. And mine obviously are not, but yeah, it's close. It's close enough. I'm not going to go through how I built this in detail. There's about 1 million videos to show you how to build one of these things. I am going to go through how I did the wiring, though it is a little bit different. Obviously, Eddie only had one. He only had one. It says tone, but it's actually volume. And the one pickup. All this other junk is just stuck in there for decoration. I ended up with this pickup in the neck position. Actually, I wired it in so it actually works. I had this other one that is more the color of what Van Halen had in his, but that thing does not work. And I thought it maybe was just shorted on the outside, so I unwound it quite a bit, and I could never get that one to work. So I ended up with this one. It's a little darker color. It's similar to this one, which I think is actually it might be a custom shop, Fender custom shop one. So it's that color. So you know, that's a little bit off. I don't really care about being that exact. And I just, I had this pickup in my junk box, this EMG pickup, and these are good pickups, so I put that in there. It's a neck pickup, which is what Eddie had in his guitar, was a neck pickup from either a Les Paul or a ES335. So anyway, I ended up that this has split coils. So I wired it so that you can play it either humbucking or split coil. And then also I wired in this pickup to work also, because I'm going to play this thing. And I play a pretty wide variety of stuff, so it's kind of nice to be able to switch from humbucking to single coil. And then also I put in this switch right here is what switches it from humbucking to single coil. And then I also put in a kill switch, because we were watching Buckethead one night in here, and it's like, that, why won't we put something like that in the guitar too? We started painting. Actually, this all came about because we were painting. We started the painting, and then it was nice and warm. Spring is here, and then we're in Missouri, so it turned winter again, so I couldn't paint anymore, because I can only paint outside. So I was stuck without being able to paint, so I just went ahead and wired this pickup to where I can split the coils. I can either do this coil or both coils, and then also I can play it with this coil. And so I've got this wired in. Van Halen, he had his switch in here. It was not even wired in. and the pickup in the neck wasn't even wired in either. I gotta fix that. Whoops, that came loose. So anyway, that's what I ended up with. So anyway, the way I wired this, here's just the diagram that I used. If this is in the first position and that's down, that essentially is the humbuckings. That's a humbucking or single coil switch. Down is humbucking, up is single coil. So if it's in the humbucking, it goes, it comes in from the guitar to this, and this is just one of these switches. All it is just a, and it's normally closed, and then when you push it, it opens it up, kill switch. So it's normally closed, and then you push it and it breaks the connection. So it goes through that, comes to the input of this 5-position switch, and if it's in that position, it comes out here, goes to the pickup, and since it's in humbucking on this switch here, it comes to the switch, and then since it's in that position, it comes over to here. That's just tied together. It goes back out through to the other coil of the pickup, and then to ground. Okay, and if it's in that position and you put it in the single coil, it comes out, goes to the first coil, and then straight to ground. Okay, and then if you put it in the middle position while it's in the single coil, it comes out, goes here, goes through the other coil to ground. So you're using that coil now. In between, depending on whether or not you have it on single coil or humbucking, it's a combination of the two. Okay. And one thing, if on the humbucking setting, when it's in the middle position, it's basically just off, because it comes out, and if the switch is over here, there's just nothing. So it's like an off switch. I don't know. That's all I can think of for that. There's probably something else I could do, but that's how it is at this point. And then the last position, the 5th position on the switch, it comes out, goes straight to the neck single coil pickup. And if you have that in humbucking, what does it do? I mean, it doesn't have any effect essentially on the neck single coil. So anyway, it's got a lot of different sounds. It sounds pretty good. It actually sounds pretty good. These EMG pickups, they are, I mean, it's really good. I've got the bridge pickup in another guitar, and it really just sounds good. Nice clean tone, not muddy or anything. So anyway, one thing I might change, I really thought that this was going to be in the way, and I didn't think about it until I put the pick guard in. I thought these would be in the way, and it doesn't really seem to. So I usually rest my fingers right there, so it's kind of nice to just be able to reach up there and mess with the controls. One thing I would like to do is move this volume control maybe over here a little bit, because I get kind of hung up on the whammy bar a little bit when I'm changing the volume. So anyway, that may be something I change. But other than that, it came out pretty good. Still have a little bit of work to do on the action. It's got a little bit, the action's a little bit high. I think I can probably tighten up the springs and bring that down right there a little bit. And I don't know if I need to put some kind of spacer under there to bring the neck up. But anyway, it plays pretty good. It sounds pretty good. So that is my version of a Frankenstrat. I have to say that one thing I do like is this arrangement on the with the strap, because you just have this little thing that's it's just kind of like a carabiner, and put that on there. And that is pretty good. I like that a lot, actually. I can't tell you how many times my guitar has fallen off because those straps that just have the little hole, and you get your strap the wrong way, and it just, the first time you move, it comes off. So anyways, this is, even though it kind of looks dorky, I kind of like that. Okay, so anyway, on this thing, I went ahead and left the tone control. I had this, as I said, this was originally a Telecaster wiring harness. It had a tone control and a volume control. I went ahead and left the tone control in there. And so the first position is this pickup, and with this switch down, it's humbucking. So we got. Okay, so that position is this pickup, down is humbucking. Up would be single coil, just that coil right there. Just more of a single coil sound. Doesn't really sound like a Strat or anything, but it's a little thinner sound. The next position up is basically both pickups. And then that position should be single coil, and it's like both pickups, but I think it's almost like, it seems like it's almost like out of phase. It's like a really thin. I'm not even sure what you'd use that for. It almost sounds like a harpsichord or something. And then the next position is basically the same thing. This pickup, but humbucking. Actually, it's nothing. The center in humbucking, remember on my diagram, is nothing. Is off. Then in the single coil position, it's just that coil. And then the next one is just a combination between this coil and that neck coil. And then this position is just that coil, and this switch doesn't do anything at all. It has no effect on it. It's just a really, just a single coil sound. This is a kill switch. If you're playing Van Halen, there's that one part in "You Really Got Me" at the end of the solo where he goes like that. So you kind of need that for that if you were playing that song. That tone control really makes a big difference. Okay, I'll start that over. So, the tone control seems like it really makes a big difference on this thing. I wanted to leave the tone control in there because sometimes when you're doing like slide, you want the tone kind of down, so you can. You know. So anyway, that's it. Any more comments, Leroy?
No.
As far as the back goes, I didn't relic it quite as much as some of the other ones. Anyway. Messed up. Going back into Van Halen.